Looking for the best AMD Radeon RX 6800 GPU to suit your needs? In this video, we're diving into some of the top options available right now. Before we begin, don't forget to check out the links in the description to find the best deals within your budget. Let's get started. Number 3. XFX Speedster SWFT 319 Radeon RX 6800. Jumping straight into it, we can tell you that the XFX Speedster SWFT 319 Radeon RX 6800 is built on the Navi 21 die with a total of 3,840 stream processors, a 256-bit memory bus, 240 texture mapping units, and 96 ROPs. There's also a nice sum of 16GB GDDR6 VRAM, double the RTX 3070's 8GB VRAM, and more excitingly, the real-time ray tracing capabilities enabled by 60 RT cores, as Team Red finally catches up with NVIDIA on that front. If you couldn't tell, this is the exact unit featured in our review. This card may have aged a bit, but it still offers excellent performance in 1080p and 1440p, even if ray tracing isn't quite its biggest strength. This fact was backed up in our benchmarks, with blazing averages in Cyberpunk 2077 of 129 FPS at 1080p and 81 FPS at 1440p. Given it's a recent and demanding title, these figures are more than acceptable. Unfortunately, 4K remains just out of reach, but if you're looking to buy an RX 6800, it's likely you weren't necessarily striving for 4K resolutions in the first place. Looks-wise, XFX GPUs tend to be more understated, and this one is no exception, looking nearly identical to an AMD-made reference model. It's sleek and classy, sporting 3 angular fans and an edgy black ventilated backplate. Despite being an older card, its specs and timeless design means it will still perform great and look great inside your rig. What's more, given the $400 price point, it could be worth it from a sheer value perspective. Number 2. Sapphire Nitro plus AMD Radeon RX 6800. First off, let's take a look at some of the on-the-box specifications for our overclocking pick, the Sapphire Nitro plus RX 6800. You can expect a game clock of 1980 GHz and a boost clock of 2190 GHz, which on its own is pretty impressive, claiming a joint first position on the leaderboard for the fastest performing boost clock loaded into a 6800 GPU, first party or otherwise. What's worth noting here is that these boost clock and game clock speeds are both higher than the 3070, which comes from the NVIDIA camp. If you were still stuck between the two manufacturers for a final choice when it comes to deciding on a mid-range GPU, then know that the 6800 is closer to the 3080 in terms of performance than the 3070, so that's worth bearing in mind. So, by way of its computational speed and performance, you'll be getting stable frame rates hovering around the 70 to 100 FPS range with ray tracing and 1440p resolution, which is pretty great. You can expect all of the other AMD enhancements as well, including the direct access memory boost to your card's performance if you're using a compatible Ryzen 5000 CPU. So, the performance here isn't in question. You are going to be getting the top-level action out of this card that you can expect from a 6800, so no worries there. On to a much more aspect of a third-party GPU, the actual design and build quality of the card itself. Sapphire have constructed a very well-made card, with the all-important cooling factors overhauled and remade for the 6000 line AMD cards. Firstly, there is a brand new fan blade design that is set to improve the cooling design on these cards as a whole, which is going to be running alongside precision and intelligent fan control to let you have the ultimate level of control over your GPU when it comes to its cooling habits. Number 1. MSI Gaming Radeon RX 6800. Last but certainly not least, we've got the MSI Gaming Radeon RX 6800, another gaming-focused overclocking model, but one that caters to a slightly different audience than the previous Asus TUF edition. Mainly, this is due to its flashy looks, as internally there's not too much to separate the performance capabilities of this OC model. As expected, you've got impressive overclocking potential, with a base clock of 1775 MHz boosting up to 2155 MHz. Combined with the speedy 512.0 GB per second bandwidth and 16 GB VRAM that ensure you get a solid 1440p performance with graphics and ray tracing that are to be taken seriously alongside its NVIDIA competitors. What's more, you get the reliable build quality and aesthetics you would expect from an MSI card. Angular aluminum strips encase the triple fan setup, and are complemented by subtle strips of customizable RGB that peek through, as well as a full light strip on the side bezel. So, it's clear this GPU can elevate any PC interior. Of course, you also get the notable Tri-Frozzer cooling system, in which the fans, core pipes, and heatsink work in unison to improve airflow throughout the card, so you can keep temperatures minimal. Without a doubt, it lives up to MSI's catchline of play hard, stay silent.